Hello everyone, Edmon here, and welcome to the installation guide for DZ's Consolidated Company Commander mod pack. Now, before you begin installing this, I highly recommend that you follow my clean uninstall procedure and reinstall Battletech from scratch before you begin to install this or any other mod pack. It's just generally a good idea and will prevent kind of little errors and things that will prevent it from working properly. So the first thing you need to do, obviously, is to go to Nexus Mods and get the mod. This guide is going to go through every step, no matter how trivial or obvious, just to make sure that we're not missing anything, no matter what your skill level. So proceed to the mod. You will have to sign in. There's no way around that. You need to create an account and sign in to Nexus Mods in order to download it. Go to Files, and then you want to download the main mod and any patch if there is one. So I'm just going to save this to desktop like so, and then I'm also going to, there is a patch in this case. There might not always be a patch, but there is on this occasion, so we're going to download the patch as well. Once again, just going to save this to desktop. The link will be provided in the description of the video, but it is Nexus Mods Battletech Mods 136, which is relatively simple to remember, but I will provide a link. Okay, we're not going to bother with any of the optional stuff. We're just going to get the mod working. If you want to add optional stuff, there will be a point a little bit later on in this guide where we'll go through how to do that. Okay, so we're just downloading at the moment, 40%, getting there. We've just quickly gotten set up in Norway to do this, so hopefully this will help people who have been waiting a little while, and sorry for making you wait. Just a little bit busy moving. So we cannot close our browser until we are finished downloading, so we just have to wait for that. Depending on your internet connection, this might take a little while because it is 134 meg. On my internet connection, it's pretty quick. Nearly done. I know that some of this may seem very obvious to some of you. It's just a case of going through every single step. I'm not going to presume that people know how to do everything, or anything for that matter. So we are literally covering every single step and not missing anything at all. That way anyone can pick up this guide who's a complete novice, and they can get the end result, which is to play this great mod. Okay, so the download is complete. We no longer need the browser. We can close that. We end up with 2 zip files. If you're using Windows 10, you should have a zip program built in. If you're using Windows 7, you might need to download one. WinRAR, WinZip, 7-zip are the names of many zip programs that you can download. So we're going to use WinZip Universal. Oh, that's unhelpful. Let's just see if we can, there we go, we'll just use Windows to do it. So we have to uncompress these before we do anything. Very important that you do this. Copying files directly from a zip folder on top of other files can sometimes cause issues, so you want to uncompress first. And while that is going on, we will also uncompress this patch. Now what we will do for the patch, just to not get ourselves confused, is we'll create a folder by making a new folder and just calling it patch, just while we're working on it. And then in this patch folder that we've created, we will uncompress the items into this folder. Okay, so that's done. Still uncompressing the main mod. I'm just doing this straight on the desktop because it's easier, and then we can delete everything and clean up once we're done. Should be simple enough. My life waiting for progress bars. Yeah, if you haven't got a zip program, 7-zip is the one that I actually recommend because it's free and it's simple and it doesn't bombard you with adverts or bullshit. So just makes your life very, very easy to download 7-zip and use that. It doesn't look great by today's standards, but it's not about it looking great. It's a tool, and it does its job as a tool very well. Okay, so now that's done. We'll just close these two folders for now. So we have these files that need to be installed elsewhere, optional mods. This is the main directory. And then we've got 2 text files. And we have this patch folder with the patch in that we've pre-prepared. So we no longer need the zip files, those can be deleted. I recommend that you open the installation notes and have them handy. And what I also recommend you do is, because it's just a plain text document, gratuitous use of the return key just to make the text easy to read. Just find a good moment to press return and actually turn the text into less of a wall. Something like that. Once again, you don't have to do this, but this is just to make your life easier. Might as well have the installation instructions here. Okay, so the first thing it says is to update to Battletech 1.2. That should be automatic by this point. Future versions of this mod might require different versions of Battletech. If you need a special version of Battletech, i.e. a beta version, if you go to Battletech, right-click it and go to Properties, and under the Betas tab, there will be a selection of beta versions which you can play around with, if that's necessary. It's not necessary at the moment, but maybe in the future it might be, so just keep that in mind. If you need a special version of Battletech, it will be in the Betas tab, usually. Otherwise, the latest version is fine. Now here it says delete the contents of your mod folder. If you've done a clean uninstall and clean reinstall, you won't even have a mods folder. So we're going to need to create it. So to create the mods folder, go to Properties on your Battletech, go to Local Files, browse Local Files, and in here you will see Battletech data folder in the main Battletech area, and you need to right click and create a mods folder. Without that, you are going nowhere fast. Okay, hopefully it is there and it's not in this directory, but we'll soon find out if I've made that blunder. Okay, we'll just minimize that for now because we'll probably need it. Okay, verify, validate your game installation. That's obviously not required because you went through the clean uninstall procedure and reinstalled Battletech. Open up folder that says files that need to be installed elsewhere. Okay, simple enough. And then we need to install the BMTL folder. So what we need to do here is, in this BMTL folder there is the BMTL injector. You may remember this if you've installed RogueTech in the past, then you may remember this from then. It's exactly the same procedure. You go to Battletech data, you go into managed, and then you paste, and then once you've pasted, you just need to right click the injector and run it as an administrator. Oh, Windows Defender has protected our PC. That's unhelpful. Is he going to do that again? These are the joys of Windows 10. Alright, so we're going to have to disable that. I'm going to right click Properties on the injector, and down here in Security it says this file came from another computer and might be blocked to protect this computer. I'm going to tick Unblock and click Apply and click OK. Hopefully that will resolve the issue. Okay, that's resolved the issue. Yes, I want to run it. Alright, press any key to continue. Alright, so we're done. VMTL is now installed and we got around the problem that Windows Defender tried to eat the file. Hopefully none of you have to actually properly disable Windows Defender, and that little trick to just right click Properties and untick the Security tab at the bottom where it says that it came from the internet, that should hopefully fix it for you. Okay, so we've done that. And then we have to, apparently for full compatibility with Pilot Quirks, you can install the optional metadatabase DB file included in the MDD folder. Okay, so let's do that as well, because why not? So here's the MDD folder, here is the metadatabase file. We'll copy that. And it tells us that it needs to go in Battletech Data Streaming Assets MDD. So we'll go back here to Battletech Data Streaming Assets MDD. Paste, replace. Okay, and we're done. So we'll go back up to the Battletech main folder just so that we can remember where we are. Files that need to be installed elsewhere, we're done. Let's delete that. And we'll move on to the next step. So it says now browse to the DZCCC folder. Copy all the files and folders inside this folder to your Battletech mods folder in your game directory. Okay, so in your game directory, so it looks like this mods folder actually should be not here. So I'm just going to cut it from Battletech data, and it should actually be here in Battletech. Been a little while since I did this manually. Let's grab all these files. And let's cut them. I'm just using Control X to cut, Control V to paste. If it's in the wrong place, we'll soon know anyway, and we can just move it back. Okay, so we're done with that. We're done with this folder, so that can go as well. Okay, now lastly, we need to do the optional stuff. If you want to do any optional stuff, but I will presume that you do want to do some optional stuff. So, here it says the following optional mods are included in the optional mods folder. New mechs, jump jets removed, hard mode, sandbox mode, and there's a little description of each. And then underneath here, there is an installation order which you must get correct. So in my case, I'm going to add the new mechs, the sandbox, and the hard mode. So, in order to do that, we're just going to go to Optional Mods. Actually, before we do that, I'm just going to double check. It does not seem to mention here about the patch. Oh yeah, here we go. Last step is the patch, if there is one. Okay, cool. So we've not missed anything. So, if we go to the optional mods folder, we have our new mechs, hard mode, jump jets removed, and sandbox. So the first one should be new mechs with JJs. So we'll just copy these. Just double check the text file just to make sure we're doing this correctly. So let's copy that and let's paste. In fact, I don't think this with JJs should be there. I think actually, let's just cut that. Go to mods. Yeah, there we go. Replace files in the destination. That's correct. So we'll delete this with JJ's thing. So just to go over what I did there, you need to just go in here and copy these 4 folders into your mods directory, and that's now done. So we'll close that one. go back to our optional mods. So the next thing that we need to install is, so we've done the new mechs, then we've got hard mode and sandbox mode in that order. So hard mode next. Once again, we'll just copy these, paste into the mods folder, replace files in the destination as required. Okay, so that's that done. We'll go back to optional mods, and finally we install the sandbox. So we'll copy that, and then paste it. Once again, replacing any files as required. Doesn't look like anything's required in this case. Oh yeah, there we go, 7 files. This is why you have to install them in the correct order, because files are getting replaced. So it makes sense that there would be an order to it. Okay, so that's all done. So the optional mods are done. I didn't put the jump jet one on because I just didn't want that. I actually like being able to put jump jets on all my mechs. But we installed the other 3, hard mode, the sandbox, and the new mechs. Obviously I don't recommend installing hard mode unless you're a bit of a Battletech masochist like myself. And then the final step, obviously, is to install the patch, if there is one. Well, there is a patch. We downloaded it. So we'll close the instructions now, because we're done with them. We can delete the instructions. We can delete the optional mods. And so that leaves the only item on our desktop is this patch folder. Once again, this is all just going in the mods folder, so we'll copy this from our patch folder, paste it into our mods folder, replacing 13 files. And that's it. So, since we've been deleting everything as we go along, we now have a nice clean desktop. Everything is installed. So all that remains now is to load up the game and see if it works. That's a good sign. Modtech is loading. Good thing I got that mods folder in the right place. It's it's just one of those things. Is a lot of mod makers forget to tell you where to make that folder. It doesn't pre-exist, so it took me a little while to jog my brain there as to where it was meant to go. But that's why we make these guides, because even I can forget a small step like that, and forgetting a small step like that can cause your mod to not work, which nobody wants. Okay, so we're still loading away. If you have a normal hard disk, then you might be waiting a long time for the game to load. I do feel for you to be having to use a mechanical disk, because this game is very intensive on the hard drives, or even on the solid state drives, I should say. Loading mod manifests. Now, when you first install from flat like this, or from a clean uninstall procedure, it can take a very long time to load everything. But once you've loaded once, the game will then load much more rapidly. Future loads will be a lot quicker. There is a huge amount of manifest files that have to be created, but once they've been created, they tend to just sit around, so you don't have to create them all again. Anyway, this is all handled for you, and you've got a nice loading bar now. People, when they previously modded, this loading bar feature was not in, and you know, a few people thought, oh no, it's crashed or whatever. But it genuinely does take a long time to load, even with a very nice computer with top of the range solid state drives, you'll still be waiting a long time. So just important to note that we are here and we are waiting, and this is perfectly normal. And if you have a normal mechanical disk, you may be sat here for 10 minutes, no joke. I do recommend, you can get a little solid state drive, 128 GB one now for not very much money, 35, 40 quid or something like that. Install it side by side on your computer and just put your most demanding games on it, and that can make your computer life a lot better. Oh, still creating the manifests. And then it doesn't work. Bum bum bum. No, I'm just kidding. You'll be fine. Okay, we're nearing the end of the giant manifest load. Apologize for the background, by the way. I just set this up very quickly so that I could get this video done for those that needed it. Not fully set up yet. Alright. It's been a little while since I installed a mod from Clean. Even I forgot how long it takes to load. If you're looking for the Clean uninstall guide before you get started on this, like I recommended at the start of the video, it is part of a playlist called Battletech Guides on my YouTube. You'll find it there. www.youtube.com/TheEdmon. Although if you're watching this video, then you can always just go directly to the channel by clicking on the video and then copying the URL. I just always recommend when you're installing a fresh mod to go through that clean uninstall procedure and just strip everything away, because you don't want any residue of your previous campaigns or whatever there causing problems. Alright. Still loading. Man, imagine how long this will take on a mechanical drive. Well, for some of you, I guess you won't have to imagine. I guess you'll be sat here listening to me right now, talking about it taking forever, and you'll probably be like 3 or 4 loading bars behind. It does suck, I'm not going to lie. Alright, done. And we're in. Sweet. If you've done it correctly, you will now see Sandbox instead of New Campaign. If you've installed the Sandbox, of course, which I would presume that you would, but you don't have to. And just a double confirmation, at the bottom you'll see here 1.2.1-345 is the current version with ModTech. So now I will be able to start a sandbox. Looks like I can customize it. This is auto set to hard because I've installed the hard mod pack or whatever, so you don't actually need to customize it there. You should just be able to go to New Standard Campaign and just press Start. So I'm just going to load up the game just to show that it works, and then that's it. I hope this guide helped you out. Now there is one last thing, and the last thing is very important. I highly recommend that you use my version preservation guide. So in my normal guides, there is a guide called Preserve a version of a Steam game, or any version of a Steam game. what that will do is that will prevent updates from breaking your freshly modded campaign. HBS recently released a 3.5 meg patch, and that 3.5 meg patch broke so many people's mods, and you don't want your mods to be broken. So just to repeat that again, just in case the music was being a bit too loud, I'm still getting configured here. You want to go onto my YouTube, go to my normal reviews and guides playlist. In there's a guide called Preserve a Version of a Steam Game. And you want to go through that guide. It's recommended, optional, but I highly recommend it. You want to preserve your version of this version of Battletech. You want to preserve it and prevent it from updating, because an update will break it, and then you'll have to go through the whole process from the beginning. Clean uninstall, mod reinstall, copying all the files, the whole lot. You'll have to go through the whole lot again if your mod breaks due to an update. So I highly recommend that you go through that guide and prevent updates. Okay, so this is it. And then what should happen is, because it's a sandbox, we should start on the Argo. There we go, we started on the Argo, so we know we've done it right. And our navigation map will feature the whole of the inner sphere. And that's it, you're good to go. Enjoy Consolidated Company Commander. It's really good. It has a lot of the improvements of Rogue Tech, but without things like pirate mechs and all that kind of stuff. Right, I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you guys next time.